Yeah.
He's older than
We're gonna call a special meeting to order at 6 o'clock. We set up a special meeting tonight to meet with the park committee, with, I guess, some of their duties or their intentions for the future. All of them were notified, correct, Jenny?
Yes, I sent a letter to everyone. on
Via
the
mail.
committee.
Be at 6 o'clock tonight. I don't see any members here, so there's a lot of questions from people in the community that I can't answer, that the board, I guess, can't answer, that shouldn't answer, that they should answer. I guess also we have some questions too, so if there's nobody here to answer them, then I think nothing else to really discuss. Does anybody have any questions that we can answer for you? Has to do with the park committee or?
What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of what, I guess, part of the meeting was to bring them here, see what their intentions are, and, you know, what their duties were gonna be and weren't gonna be, and what they wanted to do, didn't wanna do. And,
So then you should get rid of it, because obviously your park committee is not effective.
by nobody showing up, it kind
uh,
of shows the intent. That
can
they-
I'm telling you right now, this is ridiculous. I mean, we sat out here, you, Danny and I, and waited on the park committee to have a meeting one night till 7:30 at night. And they didn't
I
have,
was there twice.
and, well, yeah, I was too, and then nothing. And then when you go do something, nobody shows up to work.
Well, I just make a motion to do away with the park committee. Give it back to the community.
Can I ask a question? Because how long has the park committee been in effect? How long has it been established?
Probably 6 years or so, 7 years. Yeah.
4 or 5 now.
Yeah.
I think Jeff could answer that better, he started it.
When was that?
And it was, I think the first year Jeff was in, that's when Will was
Yeah, man, yeah,
complaining about it.
yeah, about when it started.
06, 07, somewhere in
It
there.
took 3 of you to start it, so don't blame one person.
We all the trustees at
It
the
took
time
3
agreed to.
trustees to start it.
Nobody blamed anybody, we're just asking.
That's what it's going at. The park committee has got grants that the community wouldn't have gotten. You can't deny that.
Well, my question was just how long it had been in effect.
Huh?
My question was how long it had been in effect. There was
6,
still
7
discussion
years.
there.
Yeah, nobody was blaming.
Well, I'd asked the board here, Gary.
About
Thanks,
6 or
though. I
7
appreciate
years.
your input, but I did ask the board.
But they've got grants and everything else that they wouldn't have, the township would not have gotten, period.
I wouldn't say that.
I would.
I would not say that. Those
Nobody
grants
else
could have been
applied
done
for
by
it.
anyone else.
Nobody
That
else
is
did
your
anything.
opinion, your personal opinion.
No, it's a
Thank you.
fact.
That is your
No.
opinion.
That's a
And
fact.
we know what opinions are.
Yeah?
That's right. Thank you.
What do you mean, where's the proof?
All right,
There's
all
proofs
right.
and everything.
We're not gonna holler at each other.
You can replace those inept park committee members with other people that are just as able, can apply for just as many grants, do it in a better manner. You don't then have to put up the shenanigans of that calendar gate that happened 2 months ago, which makes the township look like a laughing stock. And, you don't, if that's what they did, and then, more power to them if they got some grants. But I don't think it was anything that they did special that no other person, any other person couldn't accomplish.
You're here, I
So
agree.
why aren't they on the committee?
Why aren't the committee here?
The park committee has never had a meeting, so anybody can be at the meetings to
They
find
had
out
all
what
kinds of
they
meetings.
cancel the meetings
You're
all the
right,
time.
Gary, they have, but they've
They've had
canceled,
all kinds of
but
them.
they've canceled the last two,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because everybody was
and they
busy.
don't have them every month.
So,
So it's been
is there something to do?
5 months since they've got
Is
together,
there something to do?
They could have cleaned the community.
all the time.
There was a playground built and there was only one park committee.
Nobody was there.
There was,
What?
there was,
a playground to build that they got the grant, supposedly got the grant for, and there was only one ex-park committee member there.
Also,
So just writing paper, that's.
I don't know, I never heard about it.
when we were
before, so-
maintaining the park and adding mulch, no park committee members showed up and they knew it was going on.
It's the same group of people.
And they didn't
It's just time for new blood.
They didn't show
you
up
know?
till
Throw the
April.
thugs out.
Thugs.
We've
Let
said
the
that
people do
before.
it
Throw
like
the
we did
bombs
before
out.
the park committee was
Yeah.
there.
I don't think it's appropriate to be name calling volunteers in the township, period. I don't care who's saying that it should not
I
happen.
appreciate what
You
you
call me
volunteers do.
illiterate, don't talk about calling names,
He
you call
called,
me illiterate.
yeah, and he called Ben over here a child,
Kid.
or a kid,
Yeah.
but what I think, can I say one thing, it's getting round robin, but those who were involved probably at one point all had a good focus. I think a park committee was a good idea at one point. I just don't know where it went from there. It sounded good, but I don't see any results here in some time, and that's why I was asking the question.
And I mean, I kinda agree with that, I mean, the results that I've seen in the past 6 months have been nothing.
Well,
Just my
the
opinion.
board, because you wanted to micromanage them, we had a resolution that everything had to go through us anyhow, so that, and what,
Sure.
they have no input. So what would you
They
expect?
have all kinds
What
of
would you expect from them?
They make recommendations to the board, and then we can, that's how any, you know,
Committee, yeah.
yeah,
Well-
any committee should go,
They've accomplished quite a few things, I'll just leave it at that.
The key word is fuel.
you know, in the past 6 months though, I mean,
They did.
let's look at that, the most recent, I mean, this past summer, fall.
Well, see,
not-
the concrete around the flagpole should have
Yeah.
been done when the flagpole was put in.
Question.
I agree.
You said that they've accomplished quite a bit. They have accomplished quite a bit, but
Yeah.
they've also done some damage. The people of Bowling Green Township said they did not want that merry-go-round removed. That merry-go-round was removed by the park committee, and that hurricane was put up. They could have put both up, but they did not. They wanted to make the people mad, and they did. That was the whole agenda of it. Upset the people, and they were very effective.
And they had no authority to sign for that $800 bill either.
They had every authority to sign for it.
None. They don't have the power to
It
spend.
was
any
through the
money.
park committee.
They have no authority to
No.
spend any money.
They have no authority.
You did not stop it, you did not send it back. So that
It
blame
was
falls
already
on you
concrete.
too. That blame falls on you too.
No,
You
it
could have
does
sent it
not
back.
fall on him.
You could have sent it
It
back.
does
It was
not.
concreted in the ground.
You could have sent that money back.
Hey, doesn't it take a board? And then what you just said?
Yeah. It was concrete in the ground.
You
We'll
could
rip
have
it out
sent
and
the
send
money
it
back. Before that happened,
They took delivery of it and put it in the ground without anybody knowing.
you could have said,
Thank
we
you.
don't want the grant.
Somebody did. Not it.
It
But
wasn't
you did.
about getting the grant. It
Wasn't
wasn't
about
about
the
getting the grant and getting that piece of equipment. It was about taking out another piece of equipment. You
That
could have
was
had both
not-
of them.
that
That's
was
what it
not
was about.
safe.
Absolutely.
What's not safe?
It does not, it
It
doesn't
is
have a
safe.
break on it.
Oh, my God.
It's safe.
No, it's not.
The insurance company even said it was okay.
If it had a break on it, it would be, insurance would be cheaper.
Absolutely not. We asked.
Read your laws.
Yeah, we've already been through all
We've
this.
been down this road.
Yeah.
We've
Read 'em.
asked them. We've asked them.
Ben, I'd also like to mention that I still have nothing from Barb about my records request.
Barb don't
No
give
copy
record
of that.
requests.
Wait a minute,
Why don't
why is
she?
he answering?
Because
He's not
she's
even
not
on
the
the park committee.
secretary.
She
She
signed,
gives everything she got to Jenny.
No, she doesn't, and how do you know that?
It doesn't.
Because we're doing all
What,
the,
you said
we're
over there
doing all the
where
records
Keep
come
that.
to
You're being
Hey!
spoon-fed by
Hey!
this guy right
We're not
here.
yelling at each other.
Nobody
We're not
tells
yelling
me
at each other.
what to do.
Nobody tells me what to do.
We're not
So
yelling.
that's what
Well,
the
then-
problem
Hey!
Blaming people.
Knock it. We're not yelling at each
That's
other.
enough.
Okay?
Jenny.
If we wanna have a discussion,
That's all
that's
you
fine.
Yeah, that's all you do, you talk out your ass.
Hey, I'm
You
gonna ask
do.
both of you to leave if you don't knock it.
Are you giving the copies of the calendar and
No.
everything?
I've never seen copies of it.
You are.
Thank you. Can
They
you make
will.
that
Yeah.
notice,
No, I'll do
make
that.
sure you write that in there, that I asked that question and you answered, no, you have not received copies of the calendar or anything.
and I specifically sent a records request for a copy of the calendar.
That's suspicious in itself.
It was signed Barb signed for it November the 8th. And I have the registered receipt right here in my hand with her signature on it. I still have never received a copy of the calendar or any other written record I asked for. And the law says a reasonable amount of time, and for one copy, It has been more than a reasonable amount of time, because I did talk to the Ohio Attorney General's office about that.
May I ask you something
Why,
here?
no,
Hold on, go ahead.
hang on. You raising hell about something that you got the building for. Why is this? You got the building. You preempted a praying event.
You don't know what she's asking for. She wants a copy of it. It could be for anything.
Love it, crap, right?
You come to a lot of conclusions.
It could be for anything. It could be for stuff
Mr.
6,
Step,
8
I
months
did
ago.
not answer to you.
Go ahead.
She doesn't answer to you.
No, but she should answer to us at the board.
That's
If
why
we
the
have
board,
questions.
that's why the board should be going,
The
because
reason
they don't
she-
answer to anybody.
Benji, the
You
reason
just
she's
said.
raising hell, she's got selective hearing and seeing. She
You
did
do?
not see her name
I
down.
really don't think it's a good point
If
to
somebody
begin
asks for a
starting.
public record request, we have no right to ask why, what for, anything.
Exactly.
They have to get it.
And that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Who does all the records come through?
So we can't
I
question.
can't give it if I never receive it.
Thank you.
Jenny, did you ask for it?
She shouldn't have to
Shouldn't
ask.
have to ask for it.
Why?
Just a question.
No, I have not asked for it, but Patty did. So why couldn't she have given it to Patty?
Okay.
I had the
That is
impression
not
that
an
she
official.
turned everything over to
Not
you
the-
every
okay.
month. We get a report every month, all the checks.
That is what I
everything's good
received
to you.
from Barb, is that report and any reservations
And
that were
anything from the
made.
past, right?
Yes.
You hold and
No.
maintain the records.
A
and you
handwritten
fill-
copy by
You
Barb.
fill the records request, right?
I never received a copy of the calendar. She does not give me that.
Never give us a calendar, a copy, calendar, handwritten piece of
Wait,
paper,
and-
you've seen it.
Have you asked her for it?
I didn't ask for public.
Back in
would know
November,
that
when
Patty
everyone
asked
was
for it.
complaining about this, I came down and asked to see it, so I looked at it, I took a picture of it.
Yeah, we know.
Where's it
I'm
at?
satisfied that I know what happened. What,
We are too.
But we're not
That's fine, but somebody
satisfied,
else asked for a public
because
record
nobody
request.
else has gotten the proof. No one.
I think the
first
board
place
needs
is
to ask for it,
Jeffrey
then, so.
wants to run
I
the
think-
park committee.
Yeah.
What is
So
wrong
far.
with
one at
the
a
people
time.
taking care of the park, excuse me, the park the way we did before? That park was very well taken care of.
It's still the same. I
The
mean,
grass was cut, we never had any problems, flowers were planted, no problems. The issue was, people are using township equipment. You know what, I'll bring my own lawnmower, I got a weed whacker.
How this park committee got started was because Will Kearns was complaining about the cost of everything. The park, he was wanted to get a park committee going to make money, to pay for the utilities.
Be
and to
self-sufficient.
To
Which
make it
has never
self-sufficient.
happened.
It never happened. The park committee hasn't done that. That's what the park committee was started out for.
But that's never happened. The people are paying for all that. And any money that they collected from fundraiser, the people went to it and gave them the money. It's still the people's money, no matter how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't we go back to the way we were?
I
Cut the
have
grass,
some input.
maintain it the way we did before. And the township trustees, if something needs added, it goes through them. The people can bring it to them. It is township property.
I think that the intent originally probably was valid, it was healthy, it was good. You know, I like the idea of it, especially when you get a committee, it's not one or two people where you're hoping somebody shows up. I like that idea, it's powerful, it makes things successful. What I have seen over the past several years, or a few years, is has turned political, mainly because of Jeff Corpen and his supporters. And that's a shame, because it was used as a tool when it should have been used as something to support our township and our people, not to use against people. And to me, I've seen it that way, turn into a negative, it's morphed into something that it shouldn't have been. It's a very simple thing we should do. We should be able to take care of this township, not the town, well, the township, that's up to you guys, but the park, it's a very simple process, I think. And I don't think the communication has been what it should be in the past year or two, and it's turned into a vicious cycle.
And I just don't see any willingness, you know, of them to offer anything over there, you know, as far as maintaining the park, doing any records on the equipment, taking care of the building. I just don't see it there. It's not there. You know, that's my opinion. It's,
Well, see, when this park was started, the people, the community, they built the park. You know, and there was never any bickering or anything, whatever it needed, that people done it. And it was peaceful, everybody enjoyed getting together and working on the park and everything.
It's divisive now.
Yeah,
Jenny, did you say you sent letters to all the park
I
committee?
did,
And none of them have shown up,
no,
even Mr. Corpenny's mother?
Did you talk to any of them at all?
I
Or
did
make a
not
call
talk.
or anything?
no. I sent a letter.
And
I
obviously
just
they're
want,
not
my question
interested
there would be
in
whether they
being
got
there.
any input or not, or whether they could come, it is a holiday, you know.
This is not.
No, it's not.
It's not holiday, tomorrow is.
It's a holiday in my house, it always has been, it's New Year's Eve.
Not sure.
Well, nobody
I
contacted me
work
and said
today,
they
I
couldn't
work
make
for the
it.
government. I worked all day.
I worked all day.
My
too.
question is if you got input or whether they could come or not, it is the time of year, a lot of people have
Nobody
plans.
called or anything. and
well,
they
but
were
it's
sorry.
amazing that none of them showed up out of the whole park committee.
Did you talk to any of them,
I can
Jeff?
under-
You know about the meeting? Did
I
you
can
talk to
understand
any of
one
them?
or two missing, but not every one of them to miss, I can't understand.
And not to make a phone call to
Yeah.
say why they weren't there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to disband this
Did your
group
letter say?
and get another group of people.
Oh,
I agree.
I don't even get
I
another,
don't have a
I
copy
mean,
of it with me, but it had a contact
We don't need
information on it.
another group. We can
no,
do it.
not another group, let the people do it.
Let's- Yeah, just give it back.
You need to have some organization.
Alright,
You need to
couple more
organize.
questions.
Can I ask Jeff one question?
Sure.
Where's the softer you was gonna have in before the month was up, Jeff?
That's the next meeting.
That's next meeting.
That's the next meeting.
Well, he runs the park thing.
It's at 7:00.
Yeah, more than that. Have you spoken with any of them, Jeff, about the park committee? Have you spoken with any of the members about coming tonight?
No.
That's surprising, you know, the phone calls that you get.
Not just a
And all
band,
your
band
supporters.
started, you got somebody to take over the building.
They have a
and everything.
scheduled meeting, don't they, isn't it? January.
Yeah.
They've had two.
Just get rid of them, forget about it.
Lack of communication is a big problem.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
But if they mail all the
I think
stuff
do
out
away
to
with
them, they should have showed up or called.
I would have.
It's a
We
common
already
courtesy.
have a volunteer that's willing to, take over, order, people calling and, reserving the building and watching the building.
Taking care of.
And also other community members are willing to go in and clean the building.
The building was
So one
always clean
individual
after.
doesn't have to do it all.
Yeah, nobody cleans it, it wasn't clean last night. And
We had
also,
a problem after one of the rentals.
It was filthy.
One of the workers had come in afterwards.
Me and Donnie walked over there to see if Jeff was working on a hot water tank. He wasn't there, nobody was there. Both them ovens was letting that building about knock us back outdoors when we over there. It was so hot in there.
That's a dangerous situation.
yeah, could have blown up.
living next door.
So they didn't.
But nobody comes in and checks out somebody rents it and see if everything's all right. So
that-
right there,
that's
you
another
should
question.
get rid of them and forget about it and start all over.
The other thing I wanted to say was, there is a deposit put down. And if the building is not cleaned, the deposit is not returned.
We
All
don't
these
know.
deposits, what has been done with them? Are they all been returned and nobody's checked the building?
We don't know if there's been a deposit put down or not.
I can
Yeah.
answer that.
There should be
Because-
receipts written for such.
Yeah, there should be.
Cause I couldn't tell you if there's ever a deposit.
Well, I know when you fill out the form, it has on there for the rental, price of the rental, and then price of the deposit. I know that's on there. What's been taken, given back, I don't know.
Because those deposits, they should never been returned if the individual didn't walk over and physically look at it and say, no, I'm sorry, you didn't clean it, you don't get your deposit back.
Well, we know they didn't stop and check over there, cause the ovens wouldn't have been left on if they had have stopped in there and
Correct.
checked. So right
And
there, it
trash
tells
would
you
have
they
been
don't
left
go
in
in
there
and
from
check
that
nothing.
auction. And the township should have a lot of money from all those deposits.
You know, I mean, I think it's a good thing that we rent out the community building and make a little bit of money off of it.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is a good
Yeah,
thing.
we don't have no problem with that.
I don't want to stop doing that.
No.
It helps to pay the bills.
But you
People
gotta
are
have
already
somebody that's
paying.
gonna be initiative to take and do something over there after they rent it.
Like I said, it kind of shows their intent tonight that nobody showed up, made any effort to call me.
Yeah. That's what it's called, anyway.
How many meetings have been since Barb went over there? She sent Harold over with the funny, walks in, throws it down on the table, whatever
Yeah.
it's got.
And Jeff reads a report.
Don't take long, you got three of you sitting there.
Well, I mean, I'm here to work for you guys, you know, you guys tell me what you guys want to say.
Well,
I
I
think
make a
we
motion
need
to
to
do
get
away
rid
with it.
of it. That's my opinion.
Take a vote. I'll vote for you. Come on, let's see some hands.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute, I think it's really shows a lack, if it were me on that committee, I would do it even if I were embarrassed that I hadn't performed as I should. Or embarrassed that my co-workers or co-committee members hadn't performed as they should. I would have shown up, and I will. I mean, I would. It does show, to me, an open lack of respect that they wouldn't show, each and every one of them, and I don't understand that. I just don't, this is their township, and why they wouldn't show is, to me, is
How many sitting here heard Jeff,
it's hard to understand.
the other Jeff down there say, I ain't driving up there, it costs me too much for gas
That's
money,
right.
I don't care nothing about it.
We all heard him say it the other night, well, 2 months ago, wasn't it?
Well, if he became a trustee, he wanted to move the township building.
We was sitting out there and that's what he said. Nobody bothered to call me about canceling the meeting. I drove all the way to spend all the money for gas.
What, may I ask, what is the alternative? If the committee is disbanded, what is the alternative?
And the township, I mean, we're already responsible for it, it's just that the board's just gonna have more duty to oversee it, and then if we get volunteers in the community to help
I
out.
got a man, his wife took over for years, to take care of it, you get the receipts and stuff the way you want them written, give them to them, that's the way they'll hand them back.
And a copy of the
Well, see,
calendar.
I don't know what their main responsibilities were, I don't know if anybody does, somebody does.
There was a mission statement written when they started, and I don't have it.
So I guess that's what it boils down to, the contact for renting the committee, or the building, or receiving the deposit, the funds, depositing them to Jenny.
But one of their main mission statements was to, the upkeep and the maintenance of the park, same thing with the community building, and to be self-sufficient, still be part of the township, but be self-sufficient, be able to pay your utilities and stuff like that.
You say the upkeep of the park, you mean as in mowing and such?
So just the upkeep,
But that's, I've watched you do it all summer. Are you on the park committee?
Before I did it, I know Jack's done it.
I donated the mower, 25 horse yard, and Sam fixed it with a perfect fix. He said if we left it here over 24 hours, he was claiming it for the park.
Well, I've seen Jeff and his son mow it. That was pretty cool. To me, that's family, and I like that. But only once or twice.
You used to bring my motor down here and mow it.
They all-
Yeah, I've seen you mow it.
They all do.
So that's pretty cool. I like that idea,
So the alternative is,
Yeah.
it'll go back to the people. We're not gonna have a committee. We'll have somebody, if we can get volunteers
but
to
take turns.
just to do the, take the calls for the rentals of the building and all that kind of stuff, and then,
Or we could
I
have
think,
a couple people take care of the calls and they can talk back and forth and that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's in town, lives right here, he don't
Yeah.
yeah, I think most close, we're good to go.
Yeah, you know what I mean, there's
You got
enough.
one tonight, you had to come down here and open the door, turn it in,
Yeah.
and they got it rented. Where's Barbara supposed to be doing that, she's not here.
But there's enough people in the township that would volunteer to help.
Absolutely.
To take care of it.
Definitely, I mean, I'm willing, my entire family is willing to take a whole month of maintaining the park.
Yeah, I mean, everybody just.
And even cleaning the building, if it's rented, we will go and we will clean it for that month. And you figure there's only 12 months in a year,
Well, you need a core group of a few people that can be counted on. You delegate to them, this person or that person's gonna take care of the rentals and any monies. Be accountable to that. I know you don't have that now.
Well, I will say, I live right beside it. If it gets to the point, I can always step in and help. I've seen the lights on at midnight, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't feel it was my responsibility to go over and see if somebody was injured or not.
those lights were on.
Or the lights were on pretty late. Not all night, I don't know, I didn't stay up all night. but they were up late, and I'm right there. There's some others, several of us here that live local.
Yeah.
I personally think that it should be laid out in some type of I don't know, reasonable manner that we know who it is, a phone tree it's called sometimes. There's you first, second, third, fourth, and so on. And we set up 3 or 4 families or people like that, and maybe it could help. And then have the trustees in that same phone tree.
See, before when Dawn took care of it, if the people called me, I would just write their number down, I'd call Dawn.
Right.
You know, and let him know, and he could call and see if the date was open or not.
Well, after
But
the
it was
first,
still-
after the first 2 months, you'll have enough people that show an interest that could start meeting once a month, not
Yeah.
like the current group, that would meet once a month. And you would find out that you would realize a format of people that you know you can count on.
Yeah.
And so on, that's usually how those
Yeah.
things operate.
It's not like be in the building and clean while they're meeting.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to.
No, they shouldn't have to because we, the people should already
Yeah, it
make sure
should be
it's
clean
clean.
when it's done.
But there should be at least twice a year, a big cleanup in there. You know, webs and all that should be done.
Well, I'll officially say I wouldn't have a problem being involved in that. I'm right beside it. I know others probably would, but I'll just lay that on the line
I
right
don't
now.
have a problem cleaning or mowing,
I'll come clean
but I wouldn't be able to tell if the lights were on.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
that's
take
the
no
thing,
time at all.
even though I'm out there in the country, I wouldn't know if the lights is on or
Yeah.
what's going on, you know what I mean?
I would be happy to oversee the cleaning. Tim. No, but you know, if the light, those kind of things I can watch. I'd be happy to, but I don't know who to call.
Yeah.
You know. So that kind of thing should be set up a phone tree.
Yeah.
Before the park
Communication.
committee took over, Mike, I could get on that phone in 5 minutes, I could have 10 or 15 people out there working. With mowers, scythe.
Yeah, anybody just come and help.
He took over and put his park committee in, he'd call anybody in the country, and they looked at you like you're stupid.
I saw a bunch of us show up here and put those bricks in.
That's
Oh,
different.
yeah,
That's
and the
different.
mulch.
And who was here from the park committee to help?
I didn't see anybody.
That's right.
Yeah, not one person.
You know, so
Mark Gerdell was there to try to help do the concrete.
He was here to try to get elected to get insurance. Let's face it.
can I say one other thing? I don't know anybody on the park committee personally at all. And I would hope that no one thinks that this is a bashing of those people because they stepped
No,
up. They stepped up and took on something that is not necessarily a simple task. We act like it is, but it's
No,
not.
see, I was planning.
And I think that they deserve, you know, some respect there. I hope that no one feels, because I'm surely not saying they did anything wrong
No.
at all.
How long, they bought the bricks 5 years ago, Mike. They just got it done. Just got it done, and it wasn't done by them, it was done by a few people that always comes and helps.
And you know, I understand that. You asked my wife about,
Probably 350 bricks here and over there, and we got to throw in a ditch someplace. He ordered 350 bricks, he ain't what he ordered them for, but he ordered them.
well, all I'm getting at is, there are some people over here on the park committee wall that I think, I mean, I respect the fact that they stepped up to do it. I mean, I really do.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's not a bad thing. It's
That's
not-
right.
I just feel it's not working.
at this time, it doesn't seem to be working. And I know there's a lot of, it seems to be some pretty critical things being said here. And I don't think it should be directed specifically toward any one of those individuals specifically. It just doesn't seem to be working. There's some frustration here that's floating around. And I think that needs to be cleared. That the air needs to be cleared there, because I don't know what they've done, but to step up and to have offered to do that is impressive, and I appreciate it.
I think you should just start over tonight.
You know, and I know a lot of your guys' questions are not overnight questions. They didn't come up yesterday.
Right.
You know, this has been months. It's been people have asked during the regular business meeting, and there's stuff that I can't answer that we can't answer this board.
It's been
That's
going
why
on
we
for
wanted
a
to ask.
several years. People wondering what was going on.
mean, if people are willing to help, you know, if people are willing.
Jim, his family's help, Ron DeVault, Pete Watkins, Ronnie Watkins,
You know, like
anybody you call, Golan's all of them.
I'll put my phone number out there.
People feel proud that they've done something for their community, and they're not a part of a committee, they're just the people.
Well, they're not
See how that goes,
political.
you know? I mean,
I mean, I appreciate whatever, all the park committee people have done. All their effort, their time, I appreciate all that. But I appreciate what the community's done too. You know, everybody's worked hard for it.
You remember when it started out with us,
Mm-hmm.
all donations.
Which would still continue.
Do what?
The donations would still continue.
Oh, yeah.
People aren't gonna come into the township and say, hey, I need money to go plant flowers. They're just gonna go get the flowers and do it.
You know, one thing we do down at the fire station is, you know, there's tons of tasks that need done down there. Instead of taking everything to the chief, the assistant chief, we assign different guys. One guy's in charge of building maintenance, one guy's in charge of truck maintenance, one guy's in charge of rental of the building down there. It's just a list. There's probably 10 or 12 things on that list. You know, and I think that might be a good idea. You know, just gonna use Jack as an example. You know, he's gonna be in charge of mowing the grass. You know, if he can't do it, he'll get somebody else to help him.
And work amongst each other.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, instead of relying everything on one person.
I'm pointing back at you,
What
Benny.
you're doing here.
So I mean, that's just a suggestion. I know that's what we do down there.
I agree.
It works out pretty good. You know, it really does.
I definitely would be willing to step in and help any way I can, and I know everybody behind me here at
Yes,
some
we
point
would.
will.
Well, I mean, it sounds like not everybody, not to speak for everybody. It sounds like the majority here just kind of wants to start over with it. And,
Yes.
Start fresh, and we'll try something different. You know, we'll put it back to the people for now and see how that goes.
I would also ask that the park committee, whoever's there is invited to be involved in the same thing again.
Yeah.
100%.
The reorganization or whatever you wanna call it, because they know how it goes, they have the background, and they've worked a long time, pretty hard on it, so.
Most of them would.
Yeah,
And they're all
And there's
part of
just
the
a few of them
community.
that would.
That's right.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I would think they probably should be notified again, at least, and let them know what's going on, whether they respond or not, it's up to them.
No, I'd say give back to the community.
Yeah.
And you can send them out, they're part of the community too.
Not make motion.
Yeah, I made a motion to
Well, how's Jeff feel?
just give it back to
Yes,
the
it's
community.
Yeah, you might.
You wanna do a date?
What's the actual motion, Dan?
You give it back to the community.
Just to disband them?
Just
Ban
ban
the park.
That's all.
Yeah,
Just
abandon
ban
the
the-
park committee.
Yeah, just ban them or.
I'm making a motion, I'd like it to be clear.
I'm sure.
When do you wanna do it effective?
January 1st.
That's
That's
pretty
good.
convenient.
I'll take care of the grass this week.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second. Any discussion?
I'd like to hear it read, please.
Dan made a motion to give it back to the community, disband the park committee, effective January 1st. Give responsibility back to, is that what you were saying?
Yeah,
Disband the park committee. Do roll call. Dan,
yeah.
Ben,
Yeah.
Jeff,
No,
Figured.
I move
No.
to adjourn the meeting. That was the purpose of this meeting, so we're done, aren't we?
You need a hurry. Maybe we got more stuff to discuss.
So holiday.
It's a special meeting, it has to
So-
be about the park committee.
Does anybody else have anything on the park committee they'd like to discuss?
We do have somebody that would like to, that has volunteered to help with the rental of the building.
You need an interim group
Jack?
of people
think-
appointed right
I
now to oversee whatever they
because-
normally take care of. You need to appoint 3 people Wanna
Because
take care of
January
the calendar?
1st, which is tomorrow.
And the rules?
I would suggest to the board that you get some legal advice before you proceed forward on establishing something new.
I'll be happy to take that.
I don't think so.
I'll be happy to do that.
Okay.
Legal advice, we don't need
anything new.
Tim, will you work
Just
with
make
me?
sure the
Oh,
record
yeah,
reflects
I'll
that.
work with
it. We'll just-
Shannon?
I'm going down and talk to Don and tell him, see if
Okay.
he's sick right
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Don's
He
involved,
come up with-
interested too, so I know that 3 or 4 of us will be happy to be in
Okay.
place.
I got
I move that the board seek legal opinion before moving forward on establishing something new with regards to park committees.
Peace of mind, if
Not a
we'll,
park committee.
we'll make sure letters are sent, send out letters.
Yeah,
There's no second, I appreciate it. Or at least you know.
If the township chooses to disband it, they disband it, now they're bringing it back. They didn't get legal advice to bring it in.
No.
What'd you say about
Send out letters for committee.
Is that a motion?
We'll change the locks. I don't know who.
Are you making a
Barb
motion, Ben?
has keys.
Are you making a motion?
Send out letters.
I'm asking you, what are you doing? I'm just
I'm asking Jenny to send letters.
Are you sending a letter on behalf of the board? I'd like to know what it's gonna say.
Already wanted us over here.
She'll send you one too when she
There's
sends it
not
out.
political.
So about moving a motion of what the letter's gonna be.
Would you like to come up with the verbiage in it?
I'd like to, you're the one who wants to send it, I'd like to hear what it's gonna be.
Come up with the verbiage.
What? I'm sorry, just,
No, you're good.
oh.
You're all right.
If you would, just send them a letter, that says that the board of trustees.
If you don't mind, ma'am, I don't want you tripping on my equipment, you might damage it.
I'm just standing here, I wouldn't think of damaging it.
This box right here is for the videotaping. And if you wouldn't mind being respectful of that, I'd appreciate
I
it.
do. Recording with my phone.
I'm recording too,
They're all duty in the back over
I know you probably were over here, but you weren't in the box.
Like you weren't when you recorded me the other day?
If you don't mind, you're blocking my, that's just fine, but you're blocking mine as well, sir. I have every right
How's
to
that?
be able.
Is that all right?
This lady here's blocking it.
But I'm not.
Your portfolio's in the way of it, I can't see
It's
the.
fine.
Would you like to see the viewfinder? I can't see what's over the table.
What do you want, that's why I'm asking you, what you want me to do?
Right here is where it's,
Just simply state the Bowling Green Township Board met at 6 o'clock on December 31st, 2013 to discuss various problems with the park committee. And none of the park committee members were there, and it was voted.
See right here? I can flip this over, see this, sir? Sir.
Would you be able to retrieve,
Sir.
or are you going to retrieve?
Mr. Vermillion, take a
All
look.
the information?
Well, I don't see, I'm blind in one eye. I really am.
It's not recording what's happening at the table.
You're saying
Because
I'm
you
blocking
people
it?
are, yes, sir.
Okay, we'll move it up or something.
No, it was just fine if you just moved to the right.
They're going over
She,
to that
she's right.
party that said that they would be willing to do it, which lived actually just as close.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll call him. Let her know I'm here.
Who has the key? On the property, Jeff, or Barb's
Barb's
on.
on.
I thought there was a key in here.
There might be a key in there, I
Call
don't
him here,
know.
that's fine, but I mean, nobody else in the park committee. has it.
No, nobody else in the park committee's got one, did they, Jeff? Does any other people got a key to the park committee?
Not that I know of.
This doesn't have anything to do with the park committee per se, but it does have something to do with the building. That second refrigerator over there,
Yeah.
it needs to be unplugged
Unplugged.
and done away with.
Those
There's
are
so
right.
much ice in the the freezer of that,
Yeah.
that it can't possibly work efficiently, and it's just taking
Why
up
were you
a lot of
videoing
space.
her,
And
Jeff?
we cleaned it out in
Jeff.
September. And
Jeff.
so
Jeff
from
Corpenny.
September to now, there's gotta be that much ice in the freezer.
Yeah, I noticed that today.
He
But
turned
I
and
thought we
videoed her
discussed
directly.
I know,
about
that's-
getting another
I'm trying to
refrigerator.
document the
But
meeting,
it's still
sir, and
running,
you're
it's
blocking
running
the
now.
key.
Well, you didn't answer me.
Nobody's sitting
Why would you turn the videotape?
This is the meeting, isn't it? I'm trying to document the
It's
meeting.
held together with duct tape around the freezer.
So it can be edited and put on YouTube.
That's what I'm doing though,
Yeah, I thought.
because this, this is part of the meeting.
I thought when we got it all cleaned out and dried up.
Well, I appreciate everybody's input tonight.
Two
that everybody
cameras
brought.
and a.
Blocking the camera, I can't see the meeting, sir.
Mr. Hutt, the sign on the building for who to contact needs to be changed, and, you have a park committee board, the only one with people's names posted, if the people would like to see it removed, and you can ask the people that are here if you
We'll
like.
have to do that January 1.
January 1.
That's fine. Very good. Yeah. Nobody else have any questions, comments?
Jack's got one thing.
Honestly, do whatever you want, he ain't able to find that house,
That's fine.
they're sick.
He stripped through it.
We
We don't want to
get
hear
hold of
this.
him.
Well, he went in and they took a culture and he said it's okay and they checked it with blue and he
Did,
didn't have any of
did he
that.
say yes, he would do it?
Yes, he said yes. Or if you could let input in that, tell her what Sandy told you when she called.
She just said that he went into the doctor and had a throat
No,
culture.
about taking over, helping take care of the park.
Oh, okay. He just said that he and Sandy would do it, that they would make sure that everything is written down, there would be receipts and everything would be done by check. That way there will be a record.
That's fine. Well, I'll make a motion that once we get the calendar back, that we'll let Donnie and Sandy watch
Yeah,
and go
they
take care
They
of
know
it.
what they're doing.
And he was good.
Yeah, and he's on
Everything.
Sandy and,
What else for the building?
Tim should have a key.
Yeah,
It's
Tim.
right there. I got one, somebody called me
Yeah.
once, and he showed me the receipt.
We'll let them take care of the
Well,
calendar and handle the money.
yeah, Mark or Mike,
You need to find out.
get several people.
Make sure you let Donnie and his wife know that you want copies of, you want the copies of everything at the end of every month.
Okay, we have a motion on the table, we need to do a roll call. Ben made a motion for Don and Sandy to take care of the calendar, the rentals, the rental process of the building
After sure about it.
after it's turned over to the township. And Dan seconded the motion. Roll call, Dan,
Yeah,
Ben,
Yeah.
Jeff.
I left the meeting, I'm not present.
Make sure you mark out there that he left the meeting. He's absent.
He's over here.
No, he's absent.
Okay. I've got proof he's over here.
All right. Well, I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
Sally, just to let you know, he videoed you directly when you were talking.
Oh, well, he does that all the time.
Okay, well, I thought it was an act of intimidation.
It
Usually is.
Yeah. I just wanted you to know he did that.
Oh, well, when I was talking, it wasn't about the refrigerator? Oh, well, Jan will take care of that.
I'm sorry.
He will.